guys, and welcome to today's video. This week we will be discussing another body type. If you are stopping by for the first time, for the past couple weeks we have been discussing body types, and specifically David Kibb's body type system that's based off of yin and yang. And if you don't really know much about that, I highly recommend that you go check out my body types intro video. I will link that down in the description below so you can kind of get an idea of the terminology and kind of what everything is based off of. So this week we are discussing the romantic type, and the romantic type is the most yin on the scale. Just like the dramatic type, this type is only going to have one subcategory because it is the most yin you can get. The subcategory for this type is called the theatrical romantic. The theatrical romantic is a romantic, but basically they have a yang undercurrent that is borrowed from the dramatic type. Let's get into the different characteristics of the romantic type, and then I will let you know some different style tips for you if you are a romantic type. The romantic's bone structure is going to be very small and very delicate. However, their bones are going to tend to be on the wider side. They're going to have very delicate facial bones. Their bone structure on their face is going to tend to be on the smaller side, not very angular, not very sharp. They're going to generally have more rounded shoulders, or maybe like kind of sloped shoulders. They're also going to have small hands and feet. However, they might still be on the wide side. Now, the theatrical romantic is going to possess all of these qualities as well, but they're generally going to have a little bit more of that sharpness that the dramatic type possesses. So their bone structure might be a little bit more pronounced, their shoulders might be less sloped, but they're still going to have the very small structure bones, with their bones being on the wider side. The romantics are kind of in the moderate to short height span, so generally around 5 feet 5 inches and below. This is kind of a general range. You're always going to find people who fit into these body types that are exceptions to the height rule. But for both the theatrical romantic and the romantic, they're generally going to be about 5 feet 5 inches and below. The romantic's body is going to definitely be very soft, very curvy, very much with rounded shapes. They're going to have the small tapered waist and larger in the bust and hip area. They're also going to have more fleshy limbs. They're going to generally possess that hourglass shape. Now, the theatrical romantic does possess all of these qualities. However, they are going to be a little bit more on the trimmer side. They're going to have definitely the curviness, and they probably would still fit into the hourglass shape, but it's not going to be as extreme as the romantic types. And they're also going to possess a little bit more of that sharpness to their body because they do have that yang undercurrent. So their shoulders may not be quite as sloped. They might have a more prominent bone structure and that sort of thing. A romantic's facial features are also going to be very rounded and very soft. Their face is kind of more described as just like very feminine, very sensual. They're going to generally have like rounded cheeks and very full lips. Their face may not necessarily be round. It might be more oval shaped or diamond shaped or heart shaped, but they're definitely going to have the rounded cheeks. And because they have small facial bones, they're not going to really have any super prominent bone structure like the dramatics have. The theatrical romantics are also going to have these very soft features. However, their bone structure is a little bit sharper, so they might have a little bit more prominent cheekbones or a jawline, and they're generally also going to have a little bit larger eyes than a typical romantic. The romantics, I feel like, can be fairly versatile, but they do possess a very, very feminine, sensual energy to their bodies. Some keywords, if you are a romantic type, are feminine, sensual, elegant, even like kind of mysterious, sexy, and also just very womanly. These are all just kind of keywords to keep in mind whenever you're looking for clothes as a romantic type. So the romantics can do the very, very feminine pieces. They can do ruffles, they can do lace, they can do bows, all those very, very feminine things. They can also do like very shapely pieces. They generally want to stick to pieces that are going to be form-fitting, and they're going to show off the very pretty rounded shapes and curvy lines of their body. They also generally look good with outfits that have lots and lots of detail. While other body types might look rather overwhelmed by lots of detail, the romantics can do outfits that have lots of really cool details. They can also get away with very ornate jewelry that some types, like the gamine type that we discussed in last week's video, would not be able to really get away with very well. Fitted waist, florals, heels, all of that stuff looks fantastic on a romantic body type. So generally, sticking to more feminine pieces is going to be your best bet. Some things that you probably would want to avoid if you are a romantic type are really boxy cuts of clothing. The more kind of masculine pieces, you can do suits and stuff, but I would recommend doing suits that have more of like a fitted form to them and not like a kind of more masculine type of suit. And also stay away from baggy clothes and kind of more shapeless pieces. You can do a little bit more of like the bohemian type style. However, the really super baggy pieces are not going to look super great on your figure. Also, anything that's kind of like the boxy, minimalist, edgy pieces that are like really bold and sharp. Stay away from like kind of sharp edges, boxy prints, anything that's kind of that nature. So basically anything that's like super masculine is not going to do super well on your body. As always, just like I said in my previous videos, these are all just suggestions, fashions for fun, and just wear what makes you happy. These are just tips and ideas. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.